So I wanted to show how I figure out the height of the comb I need. So I'm setting my guns up to shoot traps. So our patterning board is about 30 yards. So put some cardboard up, put a mark, and I use like a steady rest. Aim about right there, shoot 3 shots, and see where the pattern comes out. This one, first 3 shots are roughly about here. So I add a little more, got it up to there, till I get to this here, which is, I'm aiming there, and most of the shot is about here and above. It's about 20, 80, 80, 20, whatever you want to call it. It's roughly about that. So how do you get, there's lots of videos on how to do this, but how I do it is real scientific. Just take cardboard, fold it, and just tape it onto the comb and keep shooting 3 shots until I get the pattern I want. I use painter's tape from the dollar store, which is like barely tape, so it doesn't shouldn't mess up the finish. Most of the guns I'm working on I got to refinish them anyways, but the cheap stuff is like it's barely taped, so it holds on the cardboard. So you keep doing that until you get the pattern you want, and then I'll bring it back with the cardboard still on it, and then measure across the rib down to a couple spots on the cardboard and see what the drop at the comb is. And that way I know, okay, I've got to add that much wood onto the comb to get it to shoot where I want it. So the next fun thing is cutting the actual comb, which I'm going to show you over here on the bandsaw in a second. Okay, so once I determine how much I need to add, what I do is take the back and just kind of, I roughly go down so it's nice and fairly straight, because you get your curve, right? So I kind of get half-ass flat. And then what I did is just screw on a piece of angle iron to the back so it sits nice and flat. And just, I use, usually your factory pad holes are fairly straight, so I just use those. And then I'll mark a line across the whole stock and just turn on the bandsaw and just nice and slowly cut it right off. Now, this here is actually it's off an old table. It's just a piece of MDF, so I got a nice long flat surface. Sometimes it'll catch on the factory table, and it's also too short, so I can get a nice, go all the way, get it nice and smooth, get a nice square cut. And then I'll add on my pieces, glue that back on, and shape it all up. Okay, so we're back at the workbench of chaos. So now I figured out how much drop of the comb I need. So I need some spacers. So what I use is, these are walnut cutoffs I got off Facebook Marketplace from a woodworking shop. And they just sell off, you can buy a box of their cutoffs. Pretty good price. So anyways, for this one, now I want a 1-inch drop, and because the factory stock is it's got such a drop at the heel, I actually had to take 2 pieces and glue them together. Now I used more like construction adhesive. When I cut it and shape it, I might have to redo that. Just depends if that's going to leave like a really ugly line, but we'll see how it looks. So that'll basically go like that, and then that'll get glued onto that, and then it'll be all shaped all nice and contoured. Now also, while I'm at it, I know that when I got it mounted from top of the rib to where I want the pad is about a 3-inch drop. So what I'll do is I'll figure out where 3 inches, and this one actually you have to add a spacer to get the length of pull right. So I'll get some, usually just use chunks of aluminum, because you can cut aluminum on woodworking tools. Like that bandsaw, I'll cut it no problem at all. Just need earplugs because it gets a little loud. Or you can cut it with table saw and shape it with a jigsaw and files or whatever you got, belt sander. And so then I'll contour it, because if you look at Monte Carlo stocks, it's actually cut back here to fit the pad. So it'll be contoured cut here, then I'll grind it all nice and kind of shape it to the pad. Yeah, so that's basically how I'm doing it. Yeah, so Any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the comment section there. I'll get back to you the best I can. Until next time, we'll see you on the flip side.